Good afternoon, everybody. Can everyone hear me? We're good? Welcome to the commencement ceremony of the Billings Clinic Internal Medicine Residency Class of 2024. I first welcome our family and friends, our CEO, Dr. Clint Seeger, Co-Chief Dr. Aaron Rains, Co-Chief Dr. Ryan Schwanke, dignitaries, faculty, staff, and all of you who have contributed to the reality of this event happening. I especially welcome the extraordinary people who are about to embark on the next chapter of their lives. So first, it's my honor to introduce our Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Clint Seeger. Dr. Seeger is a Wyoming native, go Pokes, and a WWAMI graduate from the University of Washington, go Huskies. He is a family medicine physician who has served at Billings Clinic in leadership as Regional Chief Medical Officer before taking on the role of our CEO in 2022. He is incredibly important, and I was telling him earlier, if I ever think I'm stressed about my job, I can always think of Clint and think what he's going through. So we're real fortunate to have him take time out of his schedule to be here. So thank you, Dr. Seeger.
Steve has been a great colleague, and he's took care of my dad many years ago. He still asks me, he's like, "How's that Dr. Gershner doing?" So welcome everyone. Just thank you for being here on this momentous day and to help celebrate our graduates. This is just always a great time every year. It takes so many people and so many participants to help make sure that we put a residency program together that produces incredible physicians. And I want to thank everyone who participates, all the leaders, the physician leaders, the educators, the clinical team members, and also just want to recognize the donors. Many of you know that the Helmsley Foundation helped us to start this internal medicine residency many years ago, and without some of the donations, the contributions from them, this would not be possible. So because of our residency, we have over 30 residents that are physicians that are throughout our region that are delivering care here in Montana and northern Wyoming to patients in our region. And so what I want to say to our residents is thank you, first and foremost, for being here at Billings Clinic, for delivering the care to many patients, so many patients that have come through our organization, and for being part of raising the bar for healthcare in our region. And most importantly, want to congratulate you on achieving what is, I know, a really significant milestone in your training. And so I wish you, on behalf of all of Billings Clinic, I wish you the best of luck in your career as you go forward. Thank you.
So it's now my honor to introduce Dr. Alyssa Burkhardt. Last year, we made the decision to invite the winner of the Attending of the Year Award to give the talk this year, and Dr. Burkhardt was that person. Dr. Burkhardt is originally from Pennsylvania, obtained her bachelor's degrees from the University of Pittsburgh with diplomas in Spanish and psychology. She's had to use that with additional certificates in Latin American studies and medical ethics. She earned her Doctor of Medicine degree from the University of Miami and completed her internal medicine residency at Jackson Memorial Hospital. During her residency, she was named the Intern of the Year, was ACP Chapter Resident of the Year in 2014, and the recipient of the George Paff Teaching Award. So I know nothing about Dr. George Paff, so I had to Google that, and it turns out he was a renowned professor of anatomy. He wrote a textbook on head and neck anatomy and was the first professor of anatomy at the University of Miami, which University of Miami is a big deal. You know, it's a pretty prominent person to be named award after. So Dr. Burkhardt has been here since 2014, a critical member of our team since she arrived. She's served as assistant program director as well as clinical competency chair for years, has taken multiple other leadership roles within Billings Clinic. Last year, she was bestowed the honor of the Montana ACP Chapter Teacher of the Year, and by our house staff, their Attending of the Year. That is something that's voted on by our house staff, and it's quite a nice honor. So it's our pleasure to have Dr. Burkhardt speak with us today.
Good afternoon. It is a great pleasure of mine to be here with you today celebrating the graduation of this extraordinary class of preliminary and categorical residents. Throughout their training here at the Billings Clinic, these young doctors have acquired a breadth of experiences across many fields of medicine, from the primary care office and the hospital wards to the intensive care unit, to rural critical access hospitals and advanced subspecialty care. They've been asked to continually grow their skills and comfort in managing complex medical issues and have almost always kept smiles on their faces in the process. Graduates, we've asked you to take on early morning rounds, cafeteria food, long work hours, to deal with death and dying, complicated family dynamics, and the socioeconomic and psychological stressors that impact our patients' lives. You've been asked to navigate an increasingly dynamic healthcare system as the nation emerges from the COVID pandemic and shifts to meet new demands and constraints. You have forfeited your own free time, often sleep, hobbies in the service of others, but in the process have bonded as a team with a shared purpose to make a difference. We have watched you facilitate healing, recovery, and long-term relationships with the patients and families that we serve every day. They have turned to you for help, and you have risen to the challenge time and again. Our community is better and healthier because of your efforts. As you look toward your next steps, whether they be in independent practice or in additional training, know that you are ready. As we celebrate your accomplishments, it's important to also take a moment to thank those around you who have played critical support roles each and every day. Thank you to your resident colleagues, some of which are here today, to the faculty who strive to be role models and educators, and to the dedicated support staff in the clinic and hospital. I see many of them in the balcony up there. We truly could not do what we do as physicians without the collaborative efforts of nurses, care managers, pharmacists, therapists, medical assistants, and countless others. Thank you to our IMR program leadership, to the Office of Medical Education, and to the Billings Clinic Hospital Administration, all who remain dedicated to our educational mission. Finally, a sincere thanks to your families and friends who have supported you along the way. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. I am so grateful to do the work that I do and to have had the opportunity to know all of you. It is an honor to now call you my colleagues and to be cared for by you in the future. Please take good care of us in our advancing age. We wish you all the best as you go out in the world and take the next steps in your careers. You're good doctors, but more importantly, you're good people. You're poised to make an impact wherever your paths lead you. I encourage you all to embrace your roles as community leaders and advocates, as well as clinicians, and to keep us updated on the adventures ahead. This will always be your home, and we will always be your family and your biggest supporters. Never stop learning, never stop asking questions, never stop seeing the good in others, and never forget that medicine is an art as well as a science. Continue to bring your knowledge, skills, and humanity to the bedside every day. Congratulations to the class of 2024.
And next, I want to introduce Dr. Ashley Dennis, who's our designated institutional official, our DIO. She is my program administrator, also my boss. So I'll let Dr. Dennis introduce our graduates.
Hello, everyone, and welcome today. First, I would like to call up the preliminary internal medicine graduates who will continue training in their chosen specialty. Dr. Andrew Boyer will complete his training in physical medicine and rehabilitation at the University of Colorado in Denver, Colorado. Dr. Julianne Keeney will complete her training in dermatology at Marshfield Clinic in Marshfield, Wisconsin. Dr. Alex Powell will complete his training in interventional radiology at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. Dr. Jameson Williams will complete his training in diagnostic radiology at the University of Missouri in Columbia, Missouri. And now for our categorical internal medicine graduates. Dr. Renee Chen will begin her career in hospitalist medicine with Northern Colorado Hospitalists in Fort Collins, Colorado. Dr. Luke Conlin will begin his fellowship in nephrology at the University of Utah School of Medicine in Salt Lake City, Utah. Dr. Kat Dobrovoni will start her hospice and palliative care fellowship at Virginia Commonwealth University School of Medicine in Richmond, Virginia. And unfortunately, Kat could not be with here today, but let's just take a moment to celebrate her accomplishment. Dr. Mary Gelka will start her career as a hospitalist at Billings Clinic in Billings, Montana. Dr. Ryan Rhodes will begin his hospitalist practice as a faculty member of the Billings Clinic Internal Medicine Residency in Billings, Montana. Dr. Meta Strand will join Livingston Healthcare in Livingston, Montana, where she will serve as a primary care internal medicine specialist. Dr. Anthony Taylor will begin his practice as a primary care internal medicine specialist at the Cleveland Clinic Medical Center located in Vero Beach, Florida. And Dr. Kevin Woodhams will be starting his endocrinology, diabetes, and metabolism fellowship at the University of Arizona School of Medicine in Tucson, Arizona. Let's give one more round of applause to all of our graduates today.
Now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Barb Peterson. Dr. Peterson's in charge of our scholarly activity among our residents.
All right. In 1995, Hollywood gave the world a gift. And that gift came in the form of the movie Clueless. I don't know if you've seen it. Many of you have, many of you haven't. But in the movie, the protagonist misquotes Charles Dickens. And she says, "'Tis a far, far better thing doing stuff for other people." And I think that perfectly describes what we do in medicine. And I think there is a link to scholarship. And so my task today is to present awards to 3 of our notable scholars in the program. Every year, the residents who are scholars have a chance to pick out an interesting case, and it could be something common that is a great way to learn and teach others. It could be something that's very rare. So this competition happened a few weeks ago, and something that's a little bit different about this is that typically we have already announced the winners, and this is simply a formality. But I think you can feel the excitement in the air as our residents don't know who has won this year, and now that is my task. So with that, there are 2 finalists and a winner. And the finalists had the same score. They're presented in no particular order except alphabetical by first name and reverse alphabetical by last name. You can fact check me on that. So here we go. One of our finalists is Inga Shesova. It's your award. I'll stand with you. All right. Our next finalist is Dr. Luke Conlin. Fortunately, Dr. Conlin is graduating, or else we'd have to put on some type of lifetime ban because he has received so many of these particular types of awards. So we want to share the opportunity with others. All right. I want to make sure I get this right in my notes here. This would be a terrible thing to get wrong. Our winner is Dr. Renee Chen. And Dr. Chen, to answer your question, yes, I am serious. Great job.
Thank you so much. Oh,
All right.
we need to take a picture.
We'll do a photo op. Okay, so that is the end of our honoring scholarship, but not the end of scholarship itself. So with that, I'm going to introduce Dr. Darian Mulberry. She's the president of the Billings Clinic Residency Association. And Dr. Caitlin McNich is the vice president of the Billings Clinic Residency Association. And they are going to present a few awards.
Okay,
Thank you, Dr. Peterson. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here today to celebrate our graduating class. Each year, the residents vote to select one intern, one senior resident, one internal medicine faculty member, and a subspecialty faculty member to receive an award in recognition of their compassion, hard work, dedication to medicine. And also, it's a bit of a popularity contest sometimes amongst the residents, it seems. This year, we have the honor of presenting these awards to some excellent recipients. Of note, the funnest senior is not an award, much to Dr. Chen's dismay. She was really campaigning for that to be an award this year. So, first up will be the ACE Award. So this first award is presented to an intern who exemplifies a positive attitude, compassion, and excellence. This intern is a pleasure to work with, hardworking, and personable. They always have a positive outlook and are dedicated to providing exceptional care. And he always looks very fashionable in a cowboy hat. Our winner this year is Dr. Cadis Chase. All right, our next award is presented to a senior resident who has demonstrated their caring and compassionate nature with both patients and residents. They're approachable and always strive to build up and educate those around them, and they go above and beyond to ensure their patients and fellow residents are well cared for. We're also very excited because this year's winner will be remaining with Billings Clinic as an IMR attendee next year. This year's Senior of the Year Team Award winner goes to Dr. Ryan Rhodes. Congratulations. Joe, just no. Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right, so the rest of them, the next recipient is an amazing mentor and teacher who always has knowledge to share. Here are just a few of the things residents have said about this attending. He is an all-around awesome human. He has a great balance of supporting us, pushing us to learn, and is also wonderful to sit and talk with. So happy to have him. Truly makes clinic enjoyable, balances teaching with efficiency. He pushes residents to own their plans. He brings so much knowledge and experience to the program. His personality is incredible, and we love staffing with him. This year's recipient of the Attending of the Year Award goes to Dr. Daniel Gomez.
You come in the picture too.
Lastly, the Subspecialty Attending of the Year Award goes to someone who is incredibly passionate about their specialty and inspiring residents. Here are just a few of the things the residents have said about this subspecialty attending. He goes out of his way to make a teaching environment for each resident and is enthusiastic to walk through the cases with you even when he doesn't apply to the patient on his service. He is so fun to work with. He is also very knowledgeable in his specialty and is great to work with when it seems like everything is falling apart. I specifically appreciate that he is approachable in times when we as residents just need to run a plan by a critical care doctor, but not necessarily transferred to the ICU. He has a great attitude and makes learning fun. And our personal favorite from Dr. Conlon, he is the best. This year's Subspecialty Attending of the Year Award goes to Dr. Rafa Arsenigas.
Yes. Congratulations.
That's it.
So just to wrap things up in closing, I want to take the opportunity to allow all of us to acknowledge the large number of people who have helped their graduates along the way. First of all, I want to thank Jim Duncan, who may be drying off from being dunked, and the Billings Clinic Foundation for the tremendous support that he has given us. Jim has been such a friend of our program and supporting us in so many ways. including providing the accommodations for this ceremony and for the dinner tonight. Please show Jim our appreciation. I'd like to acknowledge our department and residency leadership, starting with our primary care chief, Dr. Ryan Schwanke, and our primary care director, Azure Gobbs, and for everything they do for us. I want to point out Ashley Dennis, Dr. Dennis, our designated institutional officer, and Christina McCumas, our medical education director of the Office of Medical Education, for all the tremendous work they've done on our behalf. Then I want to thank Josh Galka for his enthusiastic effort to learn his role and the assistance he has been given me. The work of Sophie Salisbury, who is our medical education specialist, has been so important. Another round of applause, please. I want to acknowledge our faculty. Congratulations to you, award winners, those who work and attend in the office setting, those who attend in the hospital, the ICU, the subspecialties. Pieces of their teaching and their presence as role models will be a conscious or unconscious part of all the patient care you graduates will deliver in the future. One more round of applause, please. Standing up there on the balcony, our nursing staff, who are so patient with us as they guide us through the important steps of patient care. And I'm not including just our office staff, or they're the ones up there, but also our inpatient nurses. Certainly without them, all of us, including myself, would be lost. Please. Finally, before we leave, we have one more task. And as you know, none of us get to where we are by ourselves. I ask that all of you graduates, please stand. Look around. You will see family or friends who have stood through your experience here. The 80-hour weeks, the times you've returned home exhausted, the times you've been emotionally drained and needed support, they were there with you in some way. Please join me in my thanks to them. So this closes our ceremony. Thank you for being with us. I look forward to dinner tonight. And for those of you traveling back home, have a safe journey. Thank you.